Stories tell of a time when the skies were lost, when we could no longer build among the clouds. We had forgotten how to gather distant resources, and we could no longer explore our vast horizons. But we never lost that way. No, our problem is survival. We must defend ourselves. We must seek out and defeat our enemies. We must restore the Airborne Empire.
Welcome back to the last session of today's IndieX 2024. I'm back again. I'm Anna, or One Ring, and I have the utmost pleasure of presenting you this last game, Airborne Empire, from a small indie studio called The Wandering Band. And with me today, I have the pleasure of being joined by the designer, Zach. Welcome.
Hi Anna, thank you. Thanks for having me.
This is we were talking a little bit backstage about how great this kind of game is, and I wanted to ask you first, how would you elevator pitch this game for those who are not familiar with the game?
Yeah, it's so the way I explain it to people is like it's a city builder with sort of RPG elements, but not like there's been like Dragon Quest builders or whatever where like you're a character building a city. In this game, the city is your character and you're trying to equip this city to complete a number of quests, both like a big main quest and then a number of side quests as well. So it's a city builder RPG.
Okay, and on the sky, which
Well, I
is
should mention that the city flies. Yes, the city is a flying city builder RPG.
and you actually move the city around,
Yeah.
which is fantastic. I will just, you know what, Zach, I will just head straight into the game, and we can talk at the same
Cool.
time.
Yeah. Maybe by the end of this, I will have a better elevator pitch.
No, I mean this. It's a great one. So I have played it for a bit, and this is so you designed the game. I wanted to ask you about what made you guys think about a city builder in the sky with RPG elements.
Yeah, I think it was a long journey. This is our second game, so we made another game that we released back in 2020 called Airborne Kingdom, and it was a flying city builder, but it was very much like just a city builder. There's not a lot of story. It was very much meant to be like a super chill game, so there wasn't like a major plot, there wasn't combat, it was just like enjoy building a peaceful city in the sky and kind of move around the world and gather resources.
Okay.
And when we started that game, originally we were building like a hotel simulator. And then the hotel, we were like, I don't know exactly why we got into this, like, what would happen if the hotel was flying? But then once the hotel was flying, it became like, wouldn't it be better if we had like more buildings and you were like more working on the layout rather than just the management? And somewhere down that road, it became a city builder. Yeah. And then I think when we made the first game, like I said, we were making like a really chill city builder. And kind of in the last year of making that game, I was just starting to think about like, what would it be like if there was combat? And so, I was just having these other ideas about, especially the RPG thing. Like, in the first game, the city can move around, and then it's like, what does that give us as an advantage of being a city builder where your city can move? Because that's pretty rare. Like, not a lot of city builders have cities that can move around. And then just the idea of meeting people and they have problems and helping. I play a lot of RPGs and I play a lot of city builders. Those are my two favorite genres. Like, I'm in charge of this one. Let's mash them together.
I think it's a great idea because we were talking. You were saying on backstage that you don't know if this is if someone that's not a city builder enjoyer will actually enjoy the game. And I told you I love city builders and I do love RPG, so this is a perfect matchup for me as well. And one really cool thing about this game is that again you are the city as the main character, and it looks so amazing. Tell me a little bit about how you came to with the idea of this design. Did you all sit together as a team and try to understand what kind of feeling, what kind of how was it?
We did. I think we looked at like a lot of reference, a lot of different artists, and even some sort of like movies or other games or things like that. I think what we kind of settled on, obviously this idea of a flying city is like, it's a little magical, right? Like there's no flying cities in real life, that giant fan that's like propelling air to keep the city afloat and all these paddles.
Yeah.
It is like a little fantastical or magical or whatever. And so we really settled on this idea of sort of mechanical magic. We wanted when you looked at the city to see a lot of like gears and fans and like this idea that like, hey, all these buildings are interconnected by these different levers and gears that are turning, and that's what's driving all this. But like also it's a little hand wavy, like it's a little bit magic too, like we don't have to worry too much about it. For us, it's mainly about like that mechanic of having to balance your city as you sort of build in one direction. Your city starts tilting, that starts affecting your workers. You have to sort of like build other lift buildings to bring that balance back. Just a lot of focus on that. And then I think that the fans especially are just very visual. Like you can see that, like, yes, I'm getting lift right there from that center fan. It's easy to understand. So if you were to put another fan like that on one side and you see the city tilt, it's really easy to kind of understand why that's happening. And we just we're really lucky. I'm not an artist. We're really lucky. Like we work with some really good artists. We have one, Amanda, who's our full-time artist who did all the like sky building stuff, and then a number of contractors helped us with all the like world art as well.
And one of the cool things is everything is you can customize everything. So the lights, the tiles, the walls. And this is again, this is the character. This is the kind of things that you can usually customize on a character, and this applies to the city itself because, as you said, it is the main character.
Even like if you look on your bottom UI there's like you've got the build button, you've got the map button, and in between you have all those little locks.
Yeah.
So all those are like ability slots or weapon slots, very similar to like a World of Warcraft or a Diablo or something, right? When you unlock these weapons and you put them on your city, they have an ability. So like a basic one would be a cannon, and I can shoot a cannon and it hits things on the ground. And when you fire that off, you kind of get like the refresh circle, just like you would in like an RPG,
cool.
right?
Like an RPG. That's nice.
Yep.
I think it kind of gives me a little bit of Howl's Moving Castle vibes as well.
that multiple pictures of that thing are like up on our sort of vision board. It's like, hey, this is what it looks like. It's Howl's Moving Castle. It's Castle in the Sky.
Yeah.
There was a movie. What was this movie called? It was a Peter Jackson movie where all the cities were like driving around on the ground.
Yes. I know.
Mortal Engines. It was called Mortal Engines. So this movie didn't do super well, and if you read the reviews, it's like people didn't necessarily like the plot, but the visuals of that movie are really cool. They've got the ideas like these cities are all mobile and they're driving around the ground, and big cities are like eating the small cities, and there's just a ton of like really good visual stuff in there. That we definitely looked at. We also looked at Last of the Mohicans, which is like this Daniel Day-Lewis movie from the 90s. It's like a Civil War era movie, just a lot of good canon. We needed like a lot of good canon.
That's really cool because again, this is a very steampunkish environment, and it looks I love this kind of style, but at the same time, it's very unique, I would say. And I want to talk a little bit more about, so just to give context here to the people that are watching, what I've been doing here. I did this hangar, and I did these 2 housing blocks along with this path. So, and I'm collecting resources. Do you want to talk a little bit about the gameplay? I think it's more interesting if you are the one explaining it.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I think the first building you always build is the hangar. The hangar is the thing that allows you to send your workers down to the ground. You start the game with like 10 workers. They're all like little birds. They're little birds that forgot how to fly. That's why they need planes and these buildings that fly. Have you ever seen the movie WALL-E? I know I'm like bringing up a lot of movies. You know how in WALL-E, like the people can't walk anymore. They got lazy and they started relying on machines. It's the same thing. These birds got lazy. They stopped flapping their wings. Someone invented a plane. Like, oh, this is way easier. So anyway, you're flying up here with your city full of birds, and there's all these resources and locations on the ground. And so the first thing you're kind of doing is you're gathering resources. There's construction resources like wood, so you're hitting these forests and you're gathering the wood. There's also like sort of basic survival resources. You need food, you need water, you also need coal. Coal is going to power all your like lift buildings. So that big fan that's below your town center there, that's burning coal, and so you need to make sure you always have coal to feed the engine. And so as you're gathering resources and building your city, you're meeting different locations on the ground. So like right there's a little settlement. That's a place you can go to recruit people. There's also like big cities. They'll have quests for you to do. And that's where the plot gets introduced. That like, hey, these pirates, all these birds on the ground, they want to be in the sky just like you. But the pirates have kind of taken over the skies and made the skies dangerous. And so you're kind of being tasked with, hey, we need to clear out these pirates and we need to liberate the skies so that all these little birdies can get back up in the sky in their hot air balloons and their planes and their blimps and their, they want to be traveling through the sky. And so your job is like, hey, go find these pirates and take them out. And that you're early in the game right now, so you're trying to build up like a city or whatever. But later on, it becomes much more. Oh, you're getting every.
I should have disabled the.
Yeah, sorry. I was like, what is this? Oh, you're getting every tutorial that we have. So you're really just gathering resources, trying to make your city bigger, defend your city, and then you start adding like offensive capabilities, where then it becomes about going and finding pirate outposts and eventually finding these different pirate bosses. There's sort of like a boss character in each biome, and they'll have like unique building upgrades or unique weapons that you can unlock. Every time you visit like a city, you can recruit like that place. You could recruit people. The bigger cities, you can like buy new blueprints for new buildings, purchase like resources, or you can recruit people, and they're gonna have a bunch of quests for you, right? That's a lot of the game is the people on the ground have problems, and you have to solve them. You have to solve them.
Yeah. Mostly, again, here on this settlement, I have recruited all the birds that I could to get more workers. Now, this game has lots of things that are... So there is a very important thing about this game, which is the balance. So you need to make sure that the whole city is balanced. Okay, tell me, how did you come up with that idea? It was from the previous game? Was it just for this? And how do we implement such a thing? Because I think that might be hard, no?
Yeah, for sure. I think the idea, I think, was really early on in the first game. Like this idea that, hey, as I've got this flat thing and I'm building and it's starting to tilt different ways, or like have a little wobble when it tilts. And then I think like just once we saw that, it was like, that's really cool. That feels different than any other game, right? Like other city builders, that's a mechanic. It's do for us like lift, right? Just keeping your thing up, and then the balance of it is kind of a unique thing for our game, right? And so the actual technical work behind it, I'm a designer. It's a really nice gig. I say ideas, and then people have to, my teammates figure out how to make them happen. It's a I've been doing video games for 25 years, you know, and like I pinch myself all the time when I'm like, I have an idea and someone else has to write a bunch of code to make my idea work. Pretty cool.
Okay, now I built this academy to research stuff. Now
Alright,
this,
so
this will help on a research tree. What would you think would be the most the best thing to start with?
Yeah, I would start with the Iron Forge, which is in production, and the reason is that the first construction resource you have is wood. So you're gathering these trees, but sort of the next thing is iron. Like for some of the more sturdy buildings or some of the combat buildings, you need iron. I also know that you're going to go to this big city and they're going to ask you to help them, and they need iron. And so, you know, I know a little bit about where this is going, but yeah, it's kind of, I always like to get the production resources all settled first.
Yeah.
I'm very much like, I want my city to be really self-sustaining. So like I early on go for farms. I early on go for like kind of the generating like resources.
Okay.
The other people on the team that play don't necessarily, they're always going for the combat stuff first. Defense towers and cannons and like covering their city and weapons, which it's fine. It's a different strategy. I think it's just depending on how you want to play.
Yeah.
I want to build. It's always my first instinct is like, well, I want to build a really cool city. I also have the thing in RPGs. Like if I play like a Skyrim or something, I don't run through it really quick. I really like try to do everything so that my character gets like ahead of the curve.
Yeah.
Like, I want to be in an RPG.
Yeah,
I want to take time to make my guy
the
almost
best
like
possible.
godlike, that I can like, yes, the best possible. So I kind of do the same thing with this game, where it's like you can kind of play at your own pace, but if you really push the pace, you start running into enemies. It's like maybe you survive, but you took a lot of damage. A lot of your people got hurt. You're kind of in this recovery mode. I want to build this like super flying fortress that like is impenetrable, and it doesn't happen. I die a lot, or I get defeated. I have to run away and rebuild a lot, but we're still tuning the game or whatever. But that's my strategy. I build a lot before I start.
Okay. Yeah, because this is usually how I play city builders. I just go really good on the foundations, on the resources themselves, and then I'll start exploring. And this is why when I managed to play a bit, I didn't go to the first city yet, because I wanted also to have a little bit of a new experience here. Let's go. I think I went for the I don't know.
Yeah, so you don't have a lot of, like, the way you're going to open up more buildings is by purchasing blueprints or unlocking blueprints, and you get them at these cities. Sometimes they give them to you as quest rewards, sometimes you buy them. I always go for those two, and the reason why is those are passive upgrades.
Yeah.
So, like, all the other upgrades, or a lot of the other upgrades, you have to apply to your building. So, like, you know, maybe your hangar, for instance, there's an upgrade. Right now you can send 7 planes from your hangar. There's an upgrade to make it 8, and then another to make it 9, another to make it 10, so you have more planes. But each one of those upgrades has to be manually applied to the hangar, so it costs resources. Like if you want to build that extra plane, it costs a few wood and a few iron. And so for me, like early game, if there's like passive upgrades that aren't costing me resources, and like those are helping me use less food and use less water, which means I have to find less food and find less water on the ground, which means my workers can spend more time gathering building resources. So I always go for those first, but that's like my own. I'm on the same boat as you. I want to like slowly build up the foundation as like, solid as I can. And that's
I'm usually very, very slow playing these kind of games. Yeah, because it's part of the magic of it. Oh no!
So your warehouse is, or your storage is full. If you look all the way over there.
Yes, I will. I want to call them all.
Build a house.
Or
we should
build a
Iron
house.
Forge. Yeah, build Iron Forge.
I'm going to build the Iron Forge here.
Yeah.
And then I'll probably now. Yeah, the lifts. So this is what you were explaining. You have to make sure that this isn't too heavy, otherwise the city starts falling. What happens if the city falls?
Yeah, it's not good. So basically what'll happen is up in the top center there, you have that 55 out of 60. What that's saying is that that big fan on your town center is providing 60 lift. And you have a weight of 55 buildings 55 weight in your buildings right now. So when you get to 60, it's going to say, hey, you can't build anymore because you don't have lift. So it prevents you from overbuilding, but in combat, oftentimes the pirates will target your fan. And so as you lose lift, your city will start falling out of the sky. And it falls at like, it doesn't just fall like a rock, because like you'll have other lift. So maybe that number would be 75 out of 60. So you would be falling at a pretty slow rate down. So you essentially have this time to like repair or build a new lift building or do whatever. Delete other buildings to lighten your city, like whatever you need to do to get under that number to stay in the air before you hit the ground. If you hit the ground, your city will explode. And you will click load save and load up the previous save, right?
Okay. That's the kind of game over from this game. Is if the
crashing
city
in the ground that is how this game ends. That is bad, crashing in the ground, and they're trying to make you crash in the ground. We also have, I should mention, because I just said the game over and you load the save. Like I personally endorse like what people call like save scumming. With this idea that you're going to save right before a fight and then go in there and then that's great. Please, yes, do that. Of course. Like this is what I do in RPGs. I try different tactics. Like I want to see like how it's going to play out and then go back and prepare properly for it. And so like we don't, like we're saving the game all the time. If you hit a spot where it's too tricky, we fully like, yes, the game is meant like, yes, you can reload your previous save and now you know what you're getting into. Fences or whatever, right?
Okay.
You should get these guys.
These guys are cool. Do I have space for them?
Yeah, you got a couple spots. You got 13 people and 15 houses.
So
you got 2 spots.
I actually can. Okay.
This guy wants a house before he joins.
Yeah, I get it.
They need a place to live.
Yeah, it's only fair.
Yeah. Smart.
Okay, I'm need to recall my guys on the woods. And I'm going to right now I'm trying to get ore, so I have enough things on the iron forge.
And if you highlight the iron, it'll tell you like, okay, you have 10 ore, and that's converting at like whatever rate, right? 1.8 per game hour. Our clock is hours are minutes, so like it's a 24-minute day-night cycle in our game. So 1 minute is 1 hour basically.
Now that's the thing. I want to build another house, but I know for sure that this is going to take my.
Yeah, you'll have to build some lift. This will fit, but you'll need to. This will be the end of you'll probably won't be able to build anything else until you build a lift building.
But that's the thing. Oh, okay, it's done now. Okay, I just need 2 people. I need 2 people, so I'm going to get 2 from here and just attach it. What is
you
the
can see
most...
like the further you pull it away, like it shows you, and obviously you can't attach it there anyway, but it shows you the city start to like tilt, because obviously that fan would be like pushing up that side of the city. Not too difficult to keep it balanced early in. It becomes like a big problem later when you just don't have like a spot. I'm not criticizing your city. I like your city. I'm one of those weird people that it has to be symmetrical. And this causes me so many problems, because it's like the city's like leaning, and I'm like, but it needs another house over here to match the house over there. My people's morale is unhappy, and I'm like worried about the symmetry of the city.
I'm trying. Okay, so I have a logic here. So this is the housing side of the city, and this will be the hangar side, and you have this too, like the Iron Forge and the Academy. Again, I haven't been too much into the game yet, but definitely there is a logic here.
We see like we have obviously we have testers playing the game. We also have had like small like open beta tests. I see a lot of different approaches, which is obviously we want the game, like we want everybody's city to look different, feel different, and have a different strategy to it. So it's cool to see like how people choose to lay out their city. It's funny to watch people like get to a certain point and then go, oh, like they want it, and we do. There are like they're called sky docks, but you find these spots in the game where you can basically just freely rearrange your city. Like you dock to this thing and it lets you like move buildings around. So if you're making choices like I just have to put this here now because I need the lift, you will be able to like aesthetically change your city later if you want.
Okay,
right?
that's good. Okay, that's a very nice thing to know beforehand. Otherwise, I would lose so much time trying to figure out how I'm like, oh dear, the light. It's gorgeous.
Yeah,
sorry, I got distracted by sunrise.
Our guy Ben is he's been working on sunrise and sunset. These are hard. Like it's hard to get those times right in a big open world game like this. Like just the way the lighting shines on everything and like dark shadows, and all of a sudden you can't see things. And he's been putting in a lot of work, so I'm glad it's looking good.
It is, and I can get. Okay, so the food and the water now, and one of the things that is also really interesting is that, as you said, this is an open world.
Yep.
Which is like, okay, an RPG, it's an open world, obviously, but a city builder not. So what do you think were the most, not only because of this, but in general, what do you feel are the most challenging, the challenging things that you encounter when making this game?
Yeah, I think that for us, the city builder was the easier part, in only that we had built one previously, and then it was like the open world. For me personally, and the engineers would say it's different. Their answer would be different, but they're not here, so it'll be my answer. It was like sort of building out the open world in a way that, I'm a big fan of Breath of the Wild or the Oblivion or Skyrim or any of the Elder Scrolls games. I'm a Dragon Age, like these big open world RPGs. And part of what I love about those games, especially, I'll talk about Breath of the Wild because I think that game's amazing, is when you're walking around in that game and you kind of look around, if you see something, you're like, oh, that looks kind of interesting over there. Like, like there's trees over there and one's really big. Like, if you go there, they're gonna pay it off for you. Like their designers made sure that like, hey, when you look around, you see interesting stuff and you go there, you will be rewarded with like something interesting to do or something. And so like, I'd never built an open world game before, big fan of them. I'm like, yeah, that's the key. It's like just lots of interesting stuff. Woo, that is so easy to say. When you're actually building it, and this world we have, game is going to be early access, so it's 3 biomes. And we have a 4th one planned for during early access.
Okay.
I've been working on this since 2021, and most of it is like just building the world with the artists, trying to make this place feel real and have these characters that feel like they have problems within this environment that feel real, for lack of a better word, that it all feels connected and believable,
Yeah.
For me, that was the trick, and the secret to it was, well, I just do a little bit at a time. I don't worry about the whole world. I just kind of worry about this little island today, and then tomorrow I'll worry about that little island.
Okay. That makes sense. Almost like building a D&D session as the game master.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. The nice thing here is I can play it, right? So I think like if you're like a dungeon master in D&D, one of the tricky things is like you write a campaign. And then you go to play it, and your players don't necessarily maybe react the way you thought they would react, or they don't choose to do the things you thought they would do. Like the nice thing for me here is like I don't need players. I can load it up and just play it.
Okay,
so I can see how it feels, right?
But that's the thing. People always do things differently than you expect. How do you deal with that while designing such a different game?
Yeah. Yeah, it's for me, it's like trying to force myself to play differently. And the way I do that, so first off, I play the game a lot. Like I play the game every single day for like hours a day. I think that the secret to like good design is like really, really, really knowing what you have, not just
Mm-hmm.
being sort of theoretical, but being actually like practical about it and play it. And so I have to like give myself rules when I play. So I'll give myself like, hey, this time when I play, I'm not going to use wings, or I'm not going to use
Oh,
propeller. Instead, I'm going to use the flapper and the fins. I give them, or I'm not going to use this weapon. Instead, I'm going to use this weapon, or I'm going to handicap myself in some way. I'm just going to try to play in a way that I think is different that someone else might try. And then the other thing is just, and the bigger one is the open beta, like having like different people play the game and having friends play the game, having other game developers playing
okay.
the game, watching them play, and then like just seeing what they do. Okay, cool. Like I just make a list of problems. A bunch of people play. They make a list of problems. I cross that, and when I'm out of the list, I have more people play, and I write another list. It's
Yeah.
just kind of one thing at a time.
Yeah, it has to be because this game is huge. And
Yeah, it's really big.
and yeah, I will now go to the city. I think I might be ready.
The other thing I should mention, like you're
Yes.
playing, there's a speed. There's like 1, 2, and 3 speed
Oh.
so you're going like one speed, which is
Oh.
totally fine. But some people that may be watching go, oh, this game seems slow. I want to go faster. You can go faster. So like if
Okay.
you're just gathering
Okay.
resources, you're waiting for something, like any other
Yeah,
city builder, you get in these like points
that's
where you're just
cool.
kind of waiting. Like speed this thing up, right?
Yeah. Yeah, makes sense. I didn't get to see everything. Oh, but if you go with your cursor, you actually
Move. Yeah, the clouds get in the way, so sometimes you need to be able to move them.
okay, that's nice.
Yeah, it's like
Um
one of those. We really like the way the clouds look, especially when they're in between your city and the ground. It's like a really nice that effect of having something in between. But then we realize like, well, now the whole thing is about finding things on the ground. If we put the clouds in the way, the players can't find the things. So yeah, the mouse kind of dissipates the clouds a little bit.
Yeah, makes sense. Okay, so basically this is the first big city. Now let's talk a little bit about the story. Like any RPG, you
Yep.
mentioned already that these are birds that are not that don't fly anymore, and you are building a city in the sky and trying to solve
Yep.
birds' problems on the ground. And this is the first city. Tell me a little bit more about it.
Yeah, I think that the overall the idea is like a long time ago, right? This was this peaceful, happy world where they had these cities on the ground, but they also had these cities in the sky, or just air traffic in general. People were traveling in between cities, and sort of the world was kind of united by this ability to sort of network through the sky, right? And so at some point, 50 years before the game, I don't know, we don't really say, but like at some point, pirates started showing up.
Mm-hmm.
And at first that was like a problem that you can deal with the pirates or whatever, but over time and kind of when you come in, what's happened is there's sort of a leader that's sort of unified all the pirates and the mercenaries and the brigands and all the sort of like bad guys, for lack of a better word, are kind of united now. So it's not just like these small little group of pirates causing problems. It's like an organized effort to control the skies. And so you as a character are sort of tasked with this like rebuilding the glory of the sort of flying cities, and this is going to inspire the people below to like also want to
Okay.
rise up and like take the skies back.
Okay. Okay. That is very very nice. And tell me about these characters.
Yeah,
I was about to mention that I love Quill.
yeah. Quill is
Um.
like your advisor. So Quill, like if you're the mayor, I guess you're the mayor of the flying city, whatever the leader, whatever the
Okay.
right word for the mayor, right? Quill is your
I,
like number one advisor. He's the guy that's going to tell you every time you come to city. He kind of gives you the lay of the land. Hey, this is the city. This is what's going on. He often helps in the conversation, so he's talking to these other characters. Agatha is the leader of the city on the ground that you're visiting. She's explaining that like, hey, we've been attacked by
mm-hmm.
pirates. Normally they don't come this far south, but like problem is getting bigger, or you need to help us or whatever, right?
Yeah.
And so Quill is like your voice. He's also your tutorial. He's just kind of your
Okay.
main, the guy that you sort of that represents you within the story and in all these conversations.
And it's a raven. I love it.
He's a raven, yeah.
Okay,
Cool,
so
with a cool thing on his nose.
let me check. Okay, so they will. Okay, this is to explore a little bit more.
Right. If you want to get into like more of the like
Okay.
backstory, every like dialogue kind of has the like, hey, here's the stuff you need to know, and then for people that really want to dive into backstory,
Then you
get all the
can
context,
you can have it. So I will just I will just for now try to go and get more people.
Yeah, you're gonna. So you're doing their quest, right? So you're.
Yes.
I think you'll see them. Yeah, a couple planes from your city just flew down. Once they land, this progress bar will start going. Yep. So they're repairing. You can see like in the city, there's a couple little areas that are like smoky and broken. When the workers are done, the city will be glorious, and then you will be able to visit. Your guys are going to rebuild their academy. You're going to rebuild their market. You're going to rebuild a bunch of interaction points there that will give you things.
Okay, that's nice. So I cannot go too far.
Yeah, you have to kind of stay in range of that city, which is it's the same range as your the planes that go to the resource mines and stuff.
Okay.
Like
And
when you're gathering wood or something, I forgot to mention this. It's like when you leave, when you fly away, once you get to a certain distance, the planes that are connected to that fort, they just automatically they come back. They go, okay, we're now out of range, and they just return.
Okay, this is good. Now, what am I going to? Okay, these are all the.
Well, I would wait. Don't research anything, and here's why.
Okay.
When you finish this repair, in like
okay, I'm
10
going
seconds,
to get something.
She's gonna give you something. You want, and it's a thing you're gonna want to research.
I'm thankful
Spoiler alert.
that I'm playing this with you. Otherwise, I would just be here and farming this and chilling before doing that much. But again, this is probably more interesting if people actually know a little bit more.
Yeah, I can see
what can you
quest
do?
progression, right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So she's happy. She gives you a street lamp blueprint. That's important because you need to light your city. If your city is not lit, then at night people will fall off. Or there will be accidents. Like some of your buildings will sometimes catch on fire. You know, like problems will happen.
Oh dear.
You're living in the dark up there. So.
Okay, that is cool.
So then the other thing they have here is like you fix the market. So if you needed to buy any particular, I don't think you need to buy anything right now, but if you need, and then the big one is the academy. You go back in that city really quick. Just visit.
Okay.
Just so we can see how the sort of This is where you buy new buildings. So like they have blueprints for the academy. This is how you unlock things in your research tree by purchasing them at these cities. Or like I said, like the street lamp, they sometimes give you things as quest rewards. But most of the sort of like options, like the propeller, for instance, is a propulsion building. It makes your city go faster. But there are other types of propulsion buildings, and they all have sort of their different. Like the propeller's great because it only uses one worker, and it gives you a pretty good amount of propulsion, but it burns coal. You could get an oar, which is like literally they're like rowing an oar, like a big old galleon ship or something, and that doesn't burn coal, but it like uses more workers or provides less propulsion or whatever. Kind of like, how do you want your city to be, right? Do you want to build this like super fast, like smaller, agile city, or do you want to build like a big, giant, sort of military style fortress city?
Okay. Yeah, because the lamps, what happened there is that if so all of this part is lit.
Yes.
And as you expand, you don't have the light from the center anymore. And I got this problem when I was trying the game.
And like a worker will just walk off the path, or like some building will be on fire, and you're like, why is the building on fire? It's like, oh, someone was cooking in their house and they couldn't see.
Which is, yeah, it makes sense. How did you come up with these ideas? Honestly.
Yeah, like it's always like one at a time. So like we're just playing the game a lot, and then it's like, it's pretty good, but it needs like something else. It needs something else, right? We always had the day-night cycle, and we always had the idea of lighting, but originally the lighting was like part of morale. It was like they just want to be happy, and what makes them happy is like if everything's lit. But it's like, well, what is light? Like light is more than there's a purpose to it, like and so we just kind of like took a lot of the mechanics that we had and like try to go deeper on them, right?
Okay,
right,
pirates
so
are approaching.
I will say this is a scripted, like I put this in here to show you that like, hey, you need to like this pirate is not gonna, I know you don't have a way to defend yourself right now. This pirate is not gonna destroy your city.
Okay.
The pirate is gonna come in and they're gonna show you, it's like basically a scout, right? So I look around, it's gonna be, oh, there he is.
It is over there.
The idea here is that the player at this point, they're building their city, and they've got, I think if you go to your map, your current quest is like, go get the defense tower, like, yeah, that one, right? They want you to go there and get the defense tower, and so, close the map. I want to see the pirate. Back there yet? Oh, that's tilde, right below the escape button. It's like our debug.
Okay, so this is the pirate.
He's gonna come in, he's gonna shoot something. What do you do? Shot your hangar, okay. Just one.
No.
And you're like, oh no, he's destroying. He's not. Your hangar is 67 health. He's gonna shoot you one more time, and then he's gonna go away. Just a warning. So you can click on your hangar. You can click repair. You're gonna repair it. All good.
Okay. I was getting stressed out about it.
But it is a bit of a like, let the player know, hey, you've now kind of entered phase 2 of the game, which is they're gonna start, small attacks are gonna start coming. You need to get. And for me, like, I look at the combat in 3 phases. First phase is like tower defense, which is like you're building these defense towers. They have a radius. They're automatically shooting the planes. You don't need to do anything other than have. And then after that, you get the weapons, and you're able. This is sort of the phase 2. You're able to like strike their outposts on the ground. And then phase 3 is you'll start seeing like a lot of planes, and then like big like pirate ships, like flying pirate ships that have like big cannons and stuff. And so you'll start building attack hangars, which allow you to send your own planes. So the planes that just attack you, you'll have planes like that you can also send out to counterattack.
Okay. I'm going to put here some lights. So basically, we need to go and get our defense.
The next city, which is over. So
let's go to the next city.
Yeah, over there.
Can I?
We're working on this. We will have an objective marker in your compass up there, but right now we don't. But it is over there.
Okay, so let's do this. And I'm going to go a little bit faster, so.
Yeah, it's that one right there, like under. It's the upper right. You can see it's that guy. Big it's a big city.
Okay.
Yeah, and so like the other thing is like I should point out like that next to your lift it says 21%. It's to the right of your lift meter in the top UI. I should point that out. That's your propulsion. So scroll right.
Okay.
That one. So right now you're going at 21% of your fastest possible speed. When we started the game, you were going at like 45%. Oh. So the reason it's going down is your city is getting heavier, right? You're adding more buildings. And so as you add more buildings, you're heavier, and that your one town center is can do less pushing, and so you'll start building like propellers or fins or oars, or we have like this paddle sail thing. There's a bunch of different types of propulsion that will speed your city up. A fast city allows you to like dodge things in combat. It allows you to like be sort of a quick strike thing. You don't necessarily have to play that way, but when in the open beta we see a lot of people play that way. You can also just be heavily armored, slow, but like nothing can penetrate your defense. People play that way too. But yeah, you'll slow down the bigger and bigger you get, and so it becomes like, it's like any city builder, right? You're spinning plates. It's like, okay, cool, I figured out food. Oh no, now I'm going too slow. Let me work on that. All right, now I'm going really fast. Oh, now I need water. Let me work on that, right? Like,
Yeah.
just trying to find the balance of fun there, right? How many plates can the player spin and still be fun?
Yes. But it is. I mean, at least for me, for now. I'm in the beginning, of course, but it is not. I mean, for the beginning, it's pretty straightforward, and you don't get overwhelmed, which was something that I would be a little bit afraid of, um, because again, this is a huge game, and it could be that how do you keep the growth steady and the learning curve not too hard.
Right. Yeah, I mean, and it's tricky. It's just so the first part of it was the open beta, but to be perfectly honest with you, this is why we're doing early access. It's like there's so many ways to play. It's not that I don't have. I mean, you can see we have just a ton of content. Like it's not in the game. I'm sure there are bugs in there, but we spent a lot of time working on the bugs because I don't want to put out early access and just have people giving me bugs. I want to put out early access and have people giving me like real problems. Like, hey, you probably didn't expect this, but I did the game this way. And I go, oh, I didn't expect that. Okay, cool. Let me go back to the lab and figure out like how to sort of deal with that, right? So yeah, our goal with early access is really to focus on making the game just better and of course bugs, but like more on the like the different play styles and all the different ways you can play the game because like I said, we're a small team, and so I've beat this game a lot, and I don't think that I've played it every possible way you can play it. I don't think that's possible for one person to do.
Okay.
It still takes me, and I know how to speed run the game, and it still takes me over 10 hours to beat it.
Okay.
Like new players, it takes 15, 20, like if they're doing all the side quests and really like exploring the world and everything, it's there's a lot here.
That is a huge game. So a team of so not that many people. How do you manage to do an open world with so many things and because that must be scary.
Yeah.
That must be very scary.
Everybody on the team has worked on like big AAA games with really big teams, and so I think that like we're lucky in that we just have a lot of experience. We know how to get things done in a quick and efficient manner. We have like we just have experience to look back on. We also have a lot of friends that are in like big AAA that we definitely lean on. Like, hey, we need help with this, or we don't know how to solve this problem, or it's the nice thing about having been in the industry so long is I know experts on everything,
Yeah. And basically now, just sorry to interrupt this conversation, we can make the defense tower, we can make a food silo because I bought the blueprint, but I'm now researching food.
Yeah. And that's fine. Like the way that I set this up is that there definitely, if you leave this area, you're gonna die. Like your pirates are gonna kill you. But
I can imagine.
I kind of made it so that until you build that defense tower, like you're safe here. So this is very similar to like
the starter
I'm gonna bring
zone.
up Breath of the Wild again, but like Breath of the Wild has that like the grand plateau that you're on in the beginning that like it's really safe and you can be there as long as you want. And then the guy gives you the glider, and it's like, okay, you can go to the rest of the world now, but you're choosing to sort of like start, like okay, all bets are off. It's the same thing for us because we recognize that some people are going to want to spend hours in this area just building and getting everything perfect, and some people are just going to want to get right to the combat, and we want to accommodate both.
Yes. And that must be hard because again, this is such a big world and so many possibilities. I would stay gathering resources for the first like 10 hours of the game probably,
no, and that's fine.
and then go more and explore more about the world to feel at least I'm prepared.
Well, one other thing I should mention about that, because like city builder fans, right? we're gonna launch the game with this, like the main mode. But like I will do a mode where you can load up the map and just build your city, and there will be no pirates.
Oh,
Like you don't have to worry about the combat. It's just like
that is
pre-build,
very
enjoy
nice.
yourself. Yes.
So
Relax. Relax
this
mode.
is the campaign mode.
Yes, this
One
is
should
campaign
say. One should say. Okay, that is nice to know. Now, Zach, as much as I would love to be here talking and exploring the game for another hour, our time is almost up. But
Yeah.
I still wanted to talk with you a little bit and to ask you if there is anything that. First of all, let's go back to the beginning of the session when I asked you, "Oh, can you try to do an elevator pitch?" Do you have any other idea now?
Ooh, I need to get it. Like I do, but I feel like, and you just heard me. My problem is like to me, an elevator pitch is like concise, like 3 sentences,
Yeah.
and like man, I ramble. I'm really a rambler, you know, and so I have to like mention city builder, right? Because when I said it too, I don't even think I said that. Or no, flying city builder. That's important. I didn't say flying. So
Yeah.
it's a flying city builder RPG. No, it's a flying city builder open world RPG
Okay.
where you need to both build your city and complete quests throughout the world to save the inhabitants of said world. I'll work on that, but I'm getting close.
Okay. It's getting way better than in the beginning.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have some comments here saying I legit can't stop playing the demo. It's so chill. Yes, again, I would be here for another hour, and I will definitely. This one is going to my wish list, and I'm getting this one as an RPG and an city builder fan. But I would like to ask you, Zach, is there anything that you would like to say for those who are watching us right now?
Yeah, I mean, you know, we're gonna have early access in January. I think if people are interested in the game, what I said about we're not looking for like bug testers. I'm looking for like people that want to give like feedback on making the game better, like features and new enemy ideas and new quest ideas. And so, you know,
Okay.
if that's interesting to people, we would love people to join the early access and join our Discord and give us those ideas. And also, if people aren't into that, cool. In another year, I'll release the 1.0 and like we'll have an awesome game for you. You know. Like,
Yeah, I'm very excited, Zach. Thank you so much for joining us here at IndieX, and congrats for this amazing game. I really can't wait to see what kind of things will be waiting in the future. Thank you so much.
thank you, and thanks for letting me jump in and watch you play. Like I'm right now, we're trying to finish this thing, and I'm in my basement just working, and so it's really actually super motivating to just this hour of seeing you and hearing you talk about it is like I'm really excited to get back to work. So thank you.
Okay. Well, I can't wait to see the finished, not the finished, but I can't wait to know more about this game, because I'm definitely it's one of my styles of game. And this was the last session for today, so I have to thank everyone for watching us throughout the day. We return tomorrow at 10 a.m. London time. So thank you so much for watching, and see you tomorrow.
Stories tell of a time when the skies were lost, when we could no longer build among the clouds. We had forgotten how to gather distant resources, and we could no longer explore our vast horizons. But we never lost that way. No, our problem is survival. We must defend ourselves. We must seek out and defeat our enemies. We must restore the Airborne Empire.